It's part 6, page 376, muscles of the lower extremity. In general, I do not do any testing on the muscles of the foot, but I have a number of students who want to know about the foot. More women than men, I will tell you, are intrigued and entranced by foot musculature, possibly because women are artists who draw their own feet. They are dancers, very often runners in some cases. I've had a lot of female pre-physical therapy students who were runners or dancers who wanted to study the foot in great detail, and they were very disappointed that I wouldn't test it. So just for that group of people, the muscles that are intrinsic to the foot are all entirely innervated by the tibial nerve. So we just have tibial nerve outflow and the muscles that are served in the foot itself. We do have the brevis versions of flexors and extensors. So we have extensor digitorum brevis, and we also have flexor digitorum brevis. And we have abductors. So often the things that you find in the hand are found in the foot. And feet are very interesting, I have to say. And it's one of the things that actually changed anatomically when we went from being forest animals and then we were selected for a new team. We left the forest and came to the grassland team a couple million years ago as Homo erectus, and have since evolved further into Homo sapien, slightly more, how shall I say, finely tuned primate, good at running and engaging in the, how shall I say, the sports of grasslands. So we have a lot of grassy sports, if you know what I mean. There's soccer, there's football, there's field hockey, there's all kinds of grassy landscapes out there. There's golf even. Okay, so the deal is that we have toes that shortened a great deal from the time when we were chimpanzees. Okay, and we're not grabbing anything with our toes now. Instead, we're bilateral animals, quite elegant and agile as two-legged animals out there running in the grasslands. And so these muscles reference what you would find in a hand that then became a foot. So keep that in mind. This is a hand that then became a foot. Okay, so one of the things that happened is we have an elongated and very powerful Achilles tendon. Chimpanzees don't have that, and so they don't run as we do. In fact, chimpanzees can barely run at all. Humans run very well. In fact, they run better than almost any other animal on Earth, which is a lot of what is tested when we run the 100-mile run in the western states, ultramarathon. That humans can actually run that faster than horses can run it, the 100 miles. Horses are very good at quarter miles and half miles, but not so good as humans at running 100 miles. So this is what the structure looks like. This is the architecture of the persistent hunter. Okay, so we only have a bipedal situation, and we have arches here. When we make our landing using our arch, we're landing on the heel, and we're also landing on these two bones here, the medial and the lateral tarsal bone. Okay, and that we have this huge region here that's literally off the floor in people who have really well-formed arches. And of course we have our flexors here for the digitorum. We have our flexor for holocaust, the flexor brevis. We have over here the musculature. This is the abductor digiti minimi. Some people can bring their toes off to the side. Some people can actually cause their great toe to move to the side. So there's that. We should be looking at the bottom of the foot. We should be actually noticing that there are two, is this the bottom? Yes. So we have our plantar aspect, that's what it says here, and that we actually have two bones right here and here. And this is very important because you might notice that some people have great toes that actually begin to move toward the second toe. And the reason for that is that the tendon here has come off the runner. There are two sesamoid bones on either side that maintain the position of this tendon. But if you decided to go to the office and wear high heels, it's possible that you've placed too much stress on that tendon, and eventually it works its way to actually push the sesamoid bones over, and this toe actually becomes displaced either under or over the second toe. Okay, so with that in mind, let's see if we get a better look here or here. They're not showing us those. They would be right here and right here, those little sesamoid bones, and they're not showing them in the picture. So here we have what forms to some degree our spring ligament, which is the arch of the foot. That's all of this connective tissue through here and the musculature that forms that. We have our interosseous muscles. And again, we have adductors as well, which pull the toes together. Okay. So with that in mind, remember we have dab and pad. We have the interosseous muscles, the plantar interosseous, as well as the dorsal interosseous, and they work the same way in the feet as they do in the hands. So I'm not going to go further into it than that. We do have our pad and dab types of actions with those intrinsic muscles, so that's always good to learn, but I will not test you on that. Those of you who end up in PT, though, you will, in some cases, if you become lower extremity experts, you're going to have to spend some time on the feet and the muscles. So with that in mind, you can prepare yourself if you so choose.